I'm your host, Simo. This is Fault Lines, where we try to fill in the cracks with the truth. So, guys, let's get into this. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi. Where do they stand? What exactly happened? We had our faith in these people, they let us down. Or did they? Well, it's not exactly that black and white. Listen, I'm disappointed just like you guys. I voted for the Orange Man. I'm a little disappointed in what's going on with the drop of the Epstein files and the lack of people burning at the stake. Honestly, that's what I wanted to see. But now, when we get into the Dan Bongino, who's fled the coop, which at first I kind of saw it, especially his reaction afterward, I was a little disappointed in it. But now I'm starting to get it because what I learned is the job title, or at least the job description, is they are there to serve at the pleasure of the president. And what that really means is they just have to do whatever the president is asking them to do. And they have to just kind of suck it up. And that's that. And so as they get through it, they're given the marching orders, and they gotta get out there and do as they're told. And so at least Dan Bongino got away from it, which I think says something. These files are crucial, and these files are awful, and they show what a lot of us knew for a while now, which is that the elite are made up of a satanic, cannibalistic, sex trafficking, pedophile cult of degenerates, and Trump's in the clear for the most part. I mean, obviously, this thing he's going through now is really just. I think he's trying to make deals. I think he's trying to leverage himself to get more power. I mean, the idea is like, look, he can put all these people in prison, or he can just kind of step up and really, it's either going to be break down the system completely or build it back with pieces that are already there. And I think he's choosing the latter. Uh, I'm not a fan. I'd rather burn it down and build it back myself. I think a lot of us out there, if you're watching this, maybe feel the same way. I don't know. But Kash Patel certainly doesn't look good in this situation, and he's a pawn that's fallen on the sword. Pam Bondi, same thing. Dan Bongino has gotten away from it, so in a way, I give him credit. Well, listen, let's talk about these files because what's come out of it is truly horrendous. Actionable crimes. What do we see? We see that we've got pizza, we've got jerky, and these two. There's more. There's lots more, but these two things are crucial. It shows that the word pizza goes far beyond the Epstein files. We've seen it used in Hollywood. We've seen it used in tweets by people like Chrissy Teigen, Adam Sandler, Ellen DeGeneres, Jennifer Aniston, George Clooney, Barack Obama, John Podesta, Hillary Clinton, um, a lot more, I'm sure, but those people in particular. And Seth Green has a show on Cartoon Network called Robot Chicken. We know chicken is a thing. It's deep, guys. It's deep. It's disgusting. It's real. We've known it. Uh, Pizzagate, Pizzagate, 100% real. Comet Ping Pong Pizza, real. Yes, there was a basement. Of course, Washington, D.C. Yes. Yes. If I ever get to Washington, D.C., you better believe I'm going and I'll show you that basement. I guarantee there's a basement there. Comet Ping Pong Pizza, as many of you know, was owned by a man named James Alefantis, rated by, I believe it was the Washington Post, as the 45th most influential person in Washington, D.C. A pizza shop owner. That's it. That's what he did. That's what he does. Pizza shop owner. Now, this man, if you can go into that Wayback Machine on the internet, you'll find some of the most disturbing images, posts, things on when it was called Twitter, Instagram, things he's commented on, things he's posted. It's disgusting. Uh, he was dating, or I don't know, married to, or still is, I think, the founder, I believe, of Media Matters. It could have been the president of Media Matters, very left leaning, left wing publication. You know, again, these people are all connected. It's Hollywood, it's Colbert, it's The View, it's all mainstream media. It's NBC, CNN. It's all of it. It's pretty much like the narrative all wrapped up, right? It's every narrative we've heard. It's every narrative the left whines over and over, and they've been wrong every time, and they just don't. They never look back. They never look back. They never look back, right? It's just, and I implore anybody that votes Democrat who's watching this, just, just look back. Just look back at anything that you championed, and just look back. I mean, go down the list. I mean, off the top of my head, right? Brett Kavanaugh, E. Jean Carroll, Russiagate, anything from COVID, the masks, the mandates, the 6 feet apart, the don't go to church, stay away from your grandmother. If you're not vaccinated, stay home and die. Don't ever go to my hospitals. You know, stay home and die, Wheezy. You know, guys, this was disgusting behavior. It goes on. I mean, all of it, all of it. Jussie Smollett, it's all of it. Black Lives Matter. The ICE thing out of nowhere. We were talking about fraud. Fraud was everywhere. We had billions of dollars of fraud just at our fingertips, uncovered, just in Minnesota, and then it was going to trickle to all these other states, probably every other state, saving at least we're gonna uncover billions per state, hundreds of billions when it was all said and done. We could have saved everybody tons, billions of dollars, right? And instead, the media just went, "Nah, we're gonna make it about race," and then all the lefties were like, "Oh, your guys are racist." We're like, "No, there's just a bunch of fraud." They're like, "Oh, you said it was Somali." I'm like, "Yeah, it's 90% Somali." See, you're racist. It's like, no, no, we're not. Yes, they're Somali. That's just what it is. Like, we're judging them on the content of their character. You're judging them on the content of their skin. Come on, guys. We gotta get together. We gotta be America. How is it that if you're if you're if you're against a white person, it's okay in any way, and if you're against a person of color, it's not okay, no matter what they are: illegal alien, rapist, criminal. You just judges are letting them go left and right in these cities. They they won't let ICE deport them, and the lefties are just like, yes, yes, this is what we want. Meanwhile, the same thing happened under Obama with literally the same Tom Homan, same guy, appointed under Obama, awarded under Obama. You guys did not care. It's only because Orange Man bad. It's literally dictated every decision, and really, it's just every emotional impulse you've had for the last 10 or 11 years is Orange Man bad, has dictated everything. It was a perfect phone call about Ukraine. Perfect. But you guys just whined, temper tantrum, impeached the guy. Couldn't even have a calm 4 years. You impeached him twice. When do you think, and people on the right, when are we going to wake up? How many times can you poke the bear? How many times? How many times are we going to just get poked? I mean, they're talking about civil war. We're the ones that are armed. It's getting ridiculous, folks. It's getting ridiculous. I don't know what the answer is going to be, but anyhow, back to the FBI. The FBI has always been corrupted, no matter who's running it, but it's definitely been a lot more corrupted. I mean, James Comey, that was awful. What he just ran cover for the Democrats, and Russiagate was just a disaster. It was treasonous all the way around. There's no other way to look at it. I mean, at least with this Epstein stuff, there's at least a point to it, right? At least there's some means to the end. I think this whole thing is coming down. I think we got this World War III. I think this is what I think. I think it's the same plan, just a different guy at the helm. I think it was going to be the demonic baby eating, sacrificing PDF files that were going to take us into this new era, this one world order. But now it's going to be Trump, which is probably better, but maybe not. But at least it's not them, because these guys were always in charge. And then Trump came along and they all hated Trump, which made me think maybe he's not so bad. I don't know. I don't know. We can only hope. I don't know. Maybe this seems a little pessimistic, but these are the thoughts I'm having. I just look at Kash Patel's sorry face as he dates what really seems to be a honeypot of a country singer. Um, Listen, Dan Bongino, I get it now. I think I do. You serve at the pleasure of the president. That is the job title, the job description. It's I mean, at first I understand why you take the job. You think, yeah, I serve at the pleasure of this guy. He's got good intentions. Man, did you guys see those files? Are you paying attention? You can't be paying attention because Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother disappeared or didn't disappear or wandered off or got kidnapped or is being held hostage or isn't or what? Come on. Like I said in my last video, we all have ring cams. You got the government. They can track anything, anybody. Come on. Come on. This is ridiculous. This is all a distraction from the files. At least we got Thomas Massey, and we got, and Thomas Massey, God bless him. Even the lefties can't give that guy too much, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene, what a woman. She's been fighting the good fight. Oh my gosh. Even now the lefties are really starting to have a tough time pounding on her, right? Right? They are. They are. But man, that woman has held her ground. That's a good woman. I respect that woman. Yeah. So, but there's few. There's very few. That's pretty much it. Those two. Those two. I mean, I'll give some credit to Fetterman. He's he's looking pretty good. He's holding a little bit there, but I don't even know. I don't even know if that's the real Fetterman. To be honest with you, I really don't know. It doesn't look like the same guy. Doesn't look like the same guy. Maybe they switched him back again. Maybe it's now the same guy it used to be. I don't know. Doesn't sound like him. Well, I've really gone over a lot here, guys. Are you following? Are you still with me? It comes right back to the files. I don't even like talking about these files. I'm really trying to avoid talking about these files. That's how bad it is. Pizzagate. John Podesta. Bad man. So John Podesta, I don't know if you guys know this. John Podesta and his brother Tony Podesta. They were almost caught. I think it was in Italy. A little girl went missing. I think a little girl and her sister went missing in a hotel. Their parents went to dinner. The two girls were left alone. John Podesta and his brother had kind of hunted them. They kind of knew that these girls were in the hotel. Never saw those girls again. The Podestas were subjects numero uno, and yeah, they got away. What else? You want to know something else? John Podesta looks exactly like Chester Bennington of Linkin Park. And yes, John Podesta was on tour with some pack or something back in the early 80s and potentially did run into Chester Bennington's mother. Put a picture side by side. And then you want to hear something strange. Linkin Park in their early days did get contracted to play the DNC. I think with it was John Podesta who set it up, and then Chester Bennington was allegedly, along with Chris Cornell, trying to put together a documentary on some of this stuff. So it goes deep, and the more that gets exposed, the more that gets exposed. But back to John Podesta, it gets worse, man. The basement tapes of Comet Ping Pong, the ones that all Colbert makes fun of and Kimmel, just, oh, there's no basement. You want to know something real quick? In that basement, there's a tape that sounds and looks just like John Podesta, and it's awful. So I don't want to repeat it, but it's torture of a child, basically. And it's John Podesta doing it, most likely, allegedly. It sounds like him, looks like him. And in the way that the Comet Ping Pong pizza thing was put to rest, or at least was like silenced into ridiculousness, was that some loony guy came and shot it up. But the news report that you can find on it, like it was I think it was CBS, was doing like a report. It was like, this crazy lone gunman came in and actually fired only one round into the pizza establishment, and it didn't. Luckily, it didn't hurt anybody, but it did damage some computer hardware. Yeah, it actually just the one rifle round the kid shot into the business just happened to fry the hard drive of James Elephantis. Talk about a magic bullet, right? Oh, you can't make it up. I'm not making that up. I'm not making any of it up. None of it, right? It's crazy. It's just crazy. But again, it's crazy to watch the cognitive dissonance of people just gobble up this, like, the Guthrie stuff and the ICE stuff and the Black Lives Matter stuff meanwhile they were like, oh, January 6th is an insurrection. It's really just extreme people on one side who didn't like the will of the people and then protested so hard they went after federal agents. And then the federal agents in that scenario actually killed unarmed, mostly peaceful protesters. Literally, right? Ashley Babbitt was unarmed and crawling through a window. And then Rose Boyland was beaten over the head with a baton in a very kind of grainy video. They say she like OD'd on something, but it's ridiculous. The eyewitnesses all tell the right story. Again, those were the only two actual fatalities of January 6th. Meanwhile, the actual narrative from the mainstream that day was like, oh, all these federal agents were killed. One was bashed over the head with a fire extinguisher. And literally people that gobble up the news still think that's the case. It was all fake news, right? So basically, the real thing that happened was a bunch of extremists on the right didn't like the will of the people, aka the 2020 election. They thought it was stolen. And so to protest, they went and stormed and threatened federal agents, unarmed, and two unarmed women were killed. Fast forward to the time of ICE this last month, and you have a bunch of extremists on the left who didn't like the will of the people, aka the 2024 election, where we elected Trump to deport all the extra illegal immigrants that were just let in under Biden egregiously. And so we, as a populace of people, voted to make make a move and get them to move out, hopefully faster than not. And these lefty loonies thought, no, I want an insurrection. I don't agree with that, and I want to now protest in an insurrectionist way. And now I want to now be more than a protest. I want to be violent, and I want to have weapons in these two scenarios where the people got killed. They were both armed, one with a car, one with a gun. Again, the car was a weapon. The gun wasn't used as a weapon, to be fair. Okay. And and F around, you find out, right? Same thing as at the Capitol. They effed around, they found out. I didn't condone it then. I don't condone it now. Simple. But the hypocrisy of the left is sus. It's just sus, right? So have a little integrity, people, which many people on the right do have, and many people on the left don't. All right. Drop the orange man bad stuff, leave it behind you. Because that guy wasn't here when all these evil, satanic, cannibalistic PDF files were doing the same thing they're doing now. They were in charge then. They're still pretty much ruling everything now. They're ruling the airwaves. They're ruling the Grammys. They're ruling the halftime show. They're ruling your mind, and you're letting them. Okay? So until that stops, it ain't cool by me. So let's get together and stop that BS. All right, folks. I'm Simo. This is Simo TV. Thanks for watching.